I expect to go into a store and the deal be so good that I would actually fight to the death for those items. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know, my name is Faith and thank you so much for watching. Today's the last Sunday of the month and normally that would mean adding another episode to my series where I compare books to their film or TV show adaptations. However, as you can see by the title of this video, that is not what we're doing today. I just really haven't read a book in a while that has a film adaptation. Actually guys, that's not true. Last month I read War of the Worlds and 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, both of which have a film adaptation. However, I didn't enjoy those books enough to make an entire video on them. I've also been on house sitting for over a week, so I wouldn't have time to film this video until either Friday night, which is tonight, or Saturday. And those videos are usually at least 2 hours of filming, so that is a lot of crunch time to actually edit those videos by Sunday at noon. So in order to put out a video that's not really sloppy, I decided to just not do one this month. However, next month I plan on doing The Housemaid, and January I plan on doing People We Meet on Vacation, so I do have 2 bigger ones coming up. But now that that's out of the way, we can get into what we're actually doing this week, which is going over my Black Friday book haul. Fair warning, I got a lot of books. I also need to rant about how crappy the Black Friday sales were today. I'm at Black Friday shopping with bestie Ellie and our first stop was at Target. And guys, I know they've been doing this sale for a while now, but I gotta be honest, buy 2 get 1 free on Black Friday isn't a good deal. It just is not Black Friday worthy. If anything, it should be buy 1 get 2 free. Obviously they get less money that way, so that's why they're not doing that. So I go to Target and honestly guys, their selection was crap. The only book that I saw that I really wanted was Diary Bound, and I wanted it bad enough to where I honestly would have picked out 2 more books in order to get that buy 2 get 1 free sale. However, they literally only had 1 copy of Diary Bound and it was so damaged that I was like, this is not worth it. So we only looked at their books for 5 to 10 minutes and then we decided a better book option would be Books A Million. So after shopping around the rest of Target, that is where we went. And that is where I got these 3 books. But like I said, I need to complain about how crappy the Black Friday deals were this year. So let me do that for Books A Million before I get into the haul. Tell me why Books A Million pulled like 20 random books off of the shelf, stuck them on a table and said, here, these are the only books on sale, everything else is full priced. It is Black Friday. What is this? I expect to go into a store and the deal be so good that I would actually fight to the death for those items. Suffice to say, did not feel that way today. Anyways, that being said, obviously I still got books, so let's get into them. The first book I got was Apprentice to the Villain, and I have been looking for this book since August. I don't like the sprayed edges for the series, so I've been looking for copies without them, and I actually found a couple in September. However, they were all damaged, and I don't know if this is controversial, but I'm not paying full price for a damaged book, so I decided to just not get them that day. And for some reason, no store carries this book. They carry Assistant to the Villain, they carry Accomplice to the Villain, but they don't carry Apprentice to the Villain. The only place I found that had it was Barnes & Noble, but again, they had the sprayed edge, and I just did not like the sprayed edge for these books. But I found it today, and it is in perfect condition, so I decided to get it, and I'm so excited to read it. The next book I got was Accomplice to the Villain, because after that cliffhanger on Assistant to the Villain and then not being able to find Apprentice to the Villain for months, did not want that happening again, so I went ahead and got the 3rd book. And then we have Holiday Ever After, and this book actually was on sale. I got it for 60% off. And another real quick rant, I don't know how well you can see that sticker residue. Books A Million, you are a bookstore. Why are you putting stickers on your books that aren't vinyl stickers? Get it together. Anyways, the reason I got this book was because I joined a book club. We voted on what book we wanted to read in December, and it was actually tied between this and one other one. So it's not guaranteed that this is the book we're going to read. However, I knew that if I saw it for 60% off and didn't get it, this would be the one that we read, and then I'd be haunted by the fact that I didn't get it when it was 60% off. But even if it doesn't get picked, I still want to read it, so I decided to get it. And that is all we got at Books A Million. At Books A Million, I also saw On Wings of Blood. However, it was not one of those random 20 books on sale, so I decided not to get it. And guys, these ones were on sale, but again, I've been looking for this one for months, and I just decided to go ahead and get this one, which is why I got these 2 even though they weren't on sale. But I told myself I wasn't going to get any book that wasn't on sale, so I decided not to get On Wings of Blood. But then I got home, and I couldn't stop thinking of Diary Bound and On Wings of Blood, so I decided to go ahead and get them online where they were on sale. So I also got those 2 books. And then the rest of the books I got, I technically didn't get them on Black Friday. I got them on Thanksgiving. However, it was for their Black Friday sale. They just opened their sale early. The rest of the books I got from Scribbles Bookshop, which is my favorite bookstore ever. It's a romance indie bookstore with over 200 authors, and every single one of their books are signed by the authors. The first order that I got from them was all 4 of the DC Stars books by Chelsea Curto, and then I placed another order for In the Dark by Chelsea Curto. So this Black Friday order was only my 3rd order from them. However, I love them so much. They package their stuff so well, and you can just tell that they love what they do. This is an online bookstore, and at the time of filming this, I did only order it yesterday, so obviously the books are not here yet. However, I'm still gonna go through and tell you guys what I got. And on their website, under the synopsis of the book, they do list the tropes for the books. So because these are indie books, and from my knowledge, none of them are super well known, so you might not know them, I'm going to go ahead and tell you the title of the book and the author, and then I'm going to read you the tropes for the book. The first book we have is Fortunate Misfortune by Maya Ansha. I apologize if I mispronounced that. The tropes for this book are college sports, soccer, rivals to lovers, multicultural romance, chronic illness rep, found family, slow burn, and forced proximity. Also, this video is not sponsored at all. However, I'm going to put a link to their website in the description for those of you who want to check it out. And then we have Drop Shot by Vi Denton, and I have been wanting to read this one for a long time, so I'm very glad that I'm finally getting it. The tropes for this one are sports romance, pro tennis athletes and mixed doubles partners, grumpy sunshine, single POV, he falls first, found family, Italian nicknames, on-page texts, and teasing as flirting. And then we have Broken Pieces by Yin Kiros, and this is book 1 in the Windy City Billionaire series. Not to be confused with Liz Tomforty's Windy City series. The tropes from this one are grumpy sunshine, age gap, slow burn, he falls first, forced proximity, and workplace romance. And then I also got the second book in that series, which is called Broken Deal. Normally I would only order the first book in a series, however I recently read False Play by Yin Kiros, which is a hockey romance, which I highly recommend, and I liked her writing, so I feel confident that I will like both of these books. But anyways, the tropes for Broken Deal, which is book 2 in the Windy City Billionaire series, are one night stand, friends with benefits, he falls first, black cat, golden retriever, reformed players, and forced proximity. And then I got The Bad Boy Rule by Marin Moore. The tropes for this book are enemies to lovers, fake dating, hockey romance, college, bad boy, good girl. And the last book I got is called Poisoned Ivy by Ava Rainey. I apologize if I mispronounced that. The tropes for this one are rich kid shenanigans, Ivy League university setting, mystery subplot, interracial and multicultural romance, dislike to lovers, black cat, golden retriever, and college romance. All of them except for Poisoned Ivy say that they contain sexual content, so I don't know if Poisoned Ivy doesn't or if it's just not listed as having sexual content. Just throwing that in because I know some people don't like to read books with smut. And then I also got this hair bow from them, which has a dragon on it, which is so cute. And because of how much I got, I did get 3 free items along with the order. The first free item is a pickle ornament shaped like a man's private part. And I will say the free gifts were predetermined. I did not get to choose what they were. Next is this cute little wood sign for your bookshelf. And the last thing is a surprise novella. So I guess they're gonna pick out a novella and put it in my order. So I actually got another book. I just don't know what it is yet. So in total, I got 11 books plus that one novella, so really 12 books. And I think it's safe to say, in case you couldn't tell, the book buying ban is over. And I can't really speak about the upcoming holiday season and shopping and gift giving without shouting out my mom's small business. For those of you who don't know, my mom runs a loofah business. All of the loofahs are grown right here on our farm. They are homegrown, natural, biodegradable, and environmentally friendly. You can get the sponges by themselves, which are perfect for cleaning literally anything. Bestie Ellie's brother used them to clean his car rims. We also have holiday and regular gift baskets available. We also sell soap bars and foot scrubs with loofahs in them, and guys, they feel incredible. So even if you don't get anything, it would mean a lot if you check that out, and I will link that in the description below. And she's not sponsoring this video, however, I run her social media and her marketing and advertising, so what kind of advertiser, social media marketer would I be without mentioning it in this video? And next week will be my November reading wrap up, and guys, I have to say, it was a pretty good reading month for me, so be sure to check that out. And like I said, next month I am going to get back to that series of comparing books to their film or TV show adaptation, and currently I plan on doing The Housemaid, so if that's something you'd be interested in, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss that. And with that being said, I think that is all that I have for you guys today, so be sure to like and subscribe and follow my Instagram and my TikTok, both are linked in the description below for more bookish content. For those of you who celebrate, I hope you had a happy Thanksgiving. Love you guys. Bye!